Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. It really is today. Yesterday, I made significant headway on the side project, which I basically put off completely in January. Talking to the product owner yesterday, I, I I put in 4 hours total to the side project in January. I just didn't have a headspace for it. And the last couple of issues that I had assigned to me were pretty big issues. And the one that I tackled yesterday ended up not being super complex, but I mean, I probably have 6 or 8 or maybe even 10 hours total in that over the last few months because I've been working on it since November. But I needed, like, yesterday I put about 4 hours into it, just steady. That's what I needed. I needed the time to just sit and just do that until it was able to work. And that's what I did. And I got it working, and I think it's a great solution. I think that it's not perfect for what we want to do in the future, but I think for now, for a V1, I think it's a good solution. So that happened, but it's not really what I wanted to talk about today because in the middle of doing all that, so I just told you that what I needed was this like concentrated effort. First I needed to have a couple of questions answered so that I knew where I was headed, and then I needed to be able to just do it and just sit and just do it. So I'm sitting and I'm just doing it, and I got up to go to the bathroom, and in the distance it took me to walk from the couch to the bathroom and back, number one, so it wasn't in there for a long time. Like a scene had developed in my mind. And when I say a scene, I mean like a creative thing. This happens to me fairly frequently. It's happened to me my entire life. I'll get these like ideas for a scene. What if this happens? And then there's these characters and they're doing this. And I had to write it. So I opened my text editor and I just wrote it. I wrote the scene. I wrote like probably 1,000 words in like 30 minutes. I just bam, 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 bam. This scene just fell out of my head, and it's this weird. I don't know what it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything I've been thinking about. It has characters I've never dreamed up before. Just 2 new characters that are. I don't know where they came from. It has a setting I've never thought of before. I mean, just randomness that turned into something. And that has been how my creative mind has worked since I was a kid. I have wanted to be a writer since I was a toddler. Like, I have my first quote book over there that I called The End of the World, and it was something that I made as a kid, and I drew a cover, and when I say a kid, I mean I was like probably 8 years old when I made this thing, and there's like 6 or 8 handwritten pages, and I never finished the book, and I don't know that I had any idea what the ending of the world actually was at that time. I think I did, but I just never finished it. And that has been my writing story for the rest of my existence. For the last 35 years, it's been I'll write something, and then that's it. Because I don't know what to do with it. And I have so many of those scenes. So many of those fun little moments where you're like, cool, but what is this? And I have no idea. Like, apart from the thing that I wrote yesterday, which included some interesting dialogue that references other things, the thing is I have no idea what those references are. Okay, all that is to say, if you go to the description of this video, you can read what I wrote yesterday. I'm just going to put it here. I thought about putting it on my website. I thought about saying, like, I don't know where this stuff comes from, but when it hits me, I have to get it out of my system, and so I do it. You can read this thing, this 1,000 words or whatever it is, and tell me if what you think happens. Like, who are these 2 men? Where are they going? What were they trying to accomplish? I have literally no clue. This scene popped into my head as a complete sequence of dialogue, of action, of setting, of the characters, just poof, there they are, in literally like 3 minutes time. There is no context. I mean, I don't have the context. I have no idea what the one man is referencing when he asks, what the hell happened to this guy. I have no idea who this defeated guy is. I have no concept of what he's supposed to be or what he does. I just know that the scene popped into my head the way I wrote it, and so I wrote it. I wrote it just to get it out of my head. The thing is, so my writing adventure, I'm still writing. I promise you. I mean, obviously I did this yesterday. I'm still writing. I've been writing a lot lately, but it's all just stuff. It's just practicing putting words on page. It's not really, I don't have a solid outline for any stories that I want to tell. I have a few. I mean, actually, honestly, I have a few outlines. I just don't know how to turn those into stories. I have to find the scenes that I'm looking for. And a lot of what I've been writing lately is nonfiction. It's more or less like, I don't want to say memoirs because I feel like who am I to write memoir? I'm not anybody who did anything important yet in my life, so there's no memoirs for me to write. But I'm writing stories from my life and trying to inject humor into them, trying to find, some voice within all of that. And I have found that writing that way has been much more productive for me. I'm not battling with myself to come up with settings and come up with events and come up with, all I'm doing is writing. I'm writing what I know. I'm writing what happened to me. And so I don't have to invent a setting. I don't have to invent characters. I don't have to invent circumstances. That stuff already existed. I just have to write it. But like this scene yesterday, I am very capable of inventing something brand new. The thing is, it has no direction. It has no purpose. It's just, poof, here's a scene, here's a thing. I don't know what to do with that. What do you think I should do with it if you read it? I'm not turning editing on or anything in that document. If you want to talk to me about it in private, emails and such are in the description of the video as well. Or, you can reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram or, I don't know. Call the phone number. Leave me a voicemail. Tell me if I'm crazy. What do you got going on this weekend? I'm hopefully going to get a little bit of time in here. I need to get M's car to the store so I can buy some wood and build the workbench. That's my hope. We shall see. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is Philistine. It is a noun meaning a crude and ignorant person who is disinterested and does not appreciate culture and the arts. A Philistine is a full-grown person whose interests are of material and commonplace nature and whose mentality is formed of the stock and ideas, conventional ideals of his or her group and time. Vladimir Nabokov, a Russian-American novelist. I screwed that whole... I screwed up so many words in that, I don't even know if this is useful. Philistine. Philistine. I realized I said Philistine the first time, which I think is, is that a person from a certain place? I feel like that's maybe something from the Bible, but the word is actually Philistine.